That um, so for our intention today, what I was thinking of is there's a story I had read from a Navy SEAL when they're doing this crazy, ridiculously long swim test as part of getting in. The person telling this story was talking about how there got to be the point where he felt like he didn't have any more energy. He can't take one stroke more. But he said when he reached that farthest point, he found inside of him a source of energy that he never knew had existed because he never had gone deep enough to draw upon that before. And so that got me thinking about all sorts of different sources of energies. Not to say, I'm definitely not recommending to draw on energy to push ourselves further and push ourselves into adrenal fatigue by just doing way too much. So that's not what I'm saying at all, but it's more of a, like, if there's a day where it's like, just for whatever reason, the newborn or whatever, you just didn't get enough sleep and you need to be able to function the next day. It's like, where is the energy that I draw from? So there's the breath, there's community around us. That's a very big source of energy for a lot of people. There's all these different sources, just being in nature, doing self-care practices, getting massages. There's all these little things that we can incorporate to help us make sure that we have this energy. And the breath that we do, just the act of breathing fully in class, as well as taking care of the physical body and like really stretching the body out. Those are the two main ones that we're focusing on today, is kind of clearing out the physical body so that the flow of energy and even the capacity of the batteries within us can expand a bit so that we have that beautiful source of energy to draw on just simply from within us. So we'll talk more about it as we go through the different poses and stuff that we play with today, but go ahead and start off with the knees coming into the chest. Just rock around for a little bit. Just gentle massage for the low back and the hips. I'll take a first easy twist. The arms spread open, the knees fall to the left. Feel the body start to soften around the twist. And as the muscle layer softens, that's when we can start to dive into the breath layer a bit more. So what we're going to play with, and I'll mention this in several different poses, but just imagine, what if there's certain alveoli and certain lobes, areas of the lung that hardly ever receive fresh oxygen because our breath is so shallow? So at least during our class today, we're going to try to open up the ribs and the back and the spine so that we're really allowing the lung to breathe as deeply as it can more often. So as we're here, really play with, even in the twist, breathing deeply. We'll take 2 more on this side. And lifting the knees up. That same simple twist to the second side. One of the benefits of this is by keeping that left arm extending out to the left, that helps to pull against the shoulder and even open up through the side ribs. That side rib area is an area where if those muscles, the intercostal muscles, aren't stretched and engaged frequently, that's part of what tends to make the breath extra shallow, because it's almost like it clenches really tight on the ribs, so the ribs aren't used to just stretching open so much. So really breathing and helping to remind the intercostal muscles that they can really expand open. Imagine all the energy you need. Imagine what if it could just come from the breath. Like, how deep would we breathe more of the time? So last breath in, huge inhale. Good. And lifting the knees up. Drop the feet to the floor. Slide the hands beside the hips. We'll take a few bridge poses. So inhale, roll the hips up. Vertebrae lift. Exhale, return back down, reverse. Inhale. This one helps to strengthen some of the back muscles so the posture of the rib cage can be more open because the back's able to hold us up. Another 3. 2. And on this last one, stay lifted. If you can, clasp hands under the back, try to clasp. Even walk the shoulders closer. Feel the chest opening as we're pressing up. Feel all those back muscles lifting. And one more full breath. With the exhale, release the hands, return back down. The left leg slides long on the ground, right leg extends up to sky, grab on. Start to open up through the hamstring muscles. As we're getting into some of the major muscle groups of class today, imagine that there's channels, and that's what the energy of our body travels through. And so as these channels get clogged up, kind of like if a stream were to get clogged up with leaves and sticks and logs, the water can't flow through it anymore. So there's less health, less vitality further down the stream. That's what these major muscle groups, we're imagining that we're stretching them so that we can open up the channels just a little bit more. Let the water, or in this case, the energy, flow through. Good. Bending this right knee, take another twist. So right knee twists over to left. Continue to breathe so that the rib cage and the lungs are really expanding their normal capacity, at least for this moment. As the right hip returns back down to the ground, cross the right ankle over the left ankle, and we'll take our banana stretch. So legs to the left. Arms expand up overhead, grab the right wrist, scoot the arms to the left. This is one of the biggest chances we have to really let the rib cage, those intercostal muscles stretch. So make sure you're leaning far enough over that you feel the stretch. And if you need to push against ankle and wrist connections to get deeper in the stretch, go for it. Job. I can hear the deep, full breathing. So go ahead and release. Return the spine back to the center. Keep the right leg on the mat, left leg up to sky. Grab on. Hamstring stretch, opening these channels on this side. Notice if you've got different things going on the two sides at this moment. This knee bends and start to twist. The left knee crosses over the body to the right. Notice how easy the exhale is. It's easy to let go when you're in a twist. So it's almost like we have to add just like an ounce more effort into the inhale. Feel how good of a massage this is giving the belly area. All those intestines going on in there. Beautiful. So we're turning the hip down, cross the left ankle over right, leg scoot to the right, up above head, grab left wrist, scoop shoulders to the right. And again, get to the sensation of feeling the ribs themselves open. One more good inhale. Exhale. Release. Return back to the center. We'll stretch the arms up overhead, taking a nice inhale. Exhale, let's roll our way up into a stretch over the hamstrings. Lengthen the spine up. Bring the arms off to each side and take a few breaths with an inhale. We circle up, feel the back muscles lift tall. So just right back down through the sides. Another 4. 3. 2. Last one, stay up. And tilt forward one more time into that different approach for the same stretch. So rise the spine up, tuck the left leg in and cradle out the right. Rock this baby cradle out a few times, try to keep lifting the spine.
This is where I fail.
Yeah. That's okay. That's kind of natural. And since our focus is ribs today, that's where we're including that last little bit. Yeah. And it might mean you kind of have to tilt back just a little bit so that there's
Like, do you let the leg double?
You can let it go forward. Yep, you can let it go forward. That's fine. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, that gives the knee a little bit more space too, so that there's less pressure on the knee. So
Yeah.
Good. Yep, that's what we're going for. Okay, whenever it feels like you kind of rocked it out pretty well, stack this shin on top. And we're going to take a little twist. If you need to just drop to cross leg too, that's fine. But we're going to take a little twist. So this is going to be a low twist first. So your hands flat to the left. And then what you're going to try to aim for, and different people can go different amounts, but you're trying to see how low you can get the right elbow down. So maybe right elbow can go all the way to the floor. That's a really deep twist. And maybe the elbow's more like on the foot. So it doesn't, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So just let it be kind of a low twist. Feel what spot of the spine gets it there. And rise up. And then we'll go for a high twist. So just leave the legs again, circle the arms up to sky, and then twist to the same side. Now the spine is stacked up right. Yep, just plant that right hand on the knee and twist. Good, returning forward. Plant the hands in front of your legs and just slide forward from. Okay, look back in. Right is released to the ground. Cradle out left. Let's feel if this hip is needing the same attention, the same sensations. Stack the ribs as much as you can. Keep breathing. Maybe one more full breath like that. Good. So same thing, maybe the shin stack or the cross leg. Front the hands to the right. And this is that low twist. So just see how low that left elbow wants to go. Maybe toward the foot, toward the knee, toward the ground. One more breath. Rising up. Face forward for a moment so we can take a full inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, twist over that right shoulder. Good. Return forward. Drop the hands in front and slide. Rise up. Okay, let's swing our legs around behind us. We'll take a child's pose, but we're going to put our fists in our belly. So you can kind of just face your knuckles together. Place that into the low abdomen area. And then try to see if you can take a child's pose up and over that, such that you're breathing in. When you breathe into your belly in the child's pose, you're getting that extra massage just by that extra matter being there. Two more breaths. Good. Unwind the hands, plant them in front of us. From a neutral kneeling spot, walk the hands just a little further forward. We'll go back and forth. As we're heading back toward a child, you round your spine like a cat. And then you keep that spine rounded, unfurl into like an exaggerated cow cobra. And the hips pull back for that child. Round like a cat, unfurling forward. Let this be about the spine. Let this be about the breath. Let this be about even the rib cage. How far forward can the ribs push at that last moment? So two more. And take a few extra breaths in a full child, flexing all the way back. Stay here a bit longer or down dog when you're ready. Walking our way up to the top of the mat, forward fold. Next inhale to rise. Slight back bend and hands down. Inhale, circle up to sky. Exhale, forward fold. The right foot slides all the way back like a nice lunge. Lower the knee. Keep the hips pushing forward. If you need to scoot the front toes forward, that's fine. Hips push forward. You can lift hands to thigh if you want to crank it up a little bit for the psoas, but hands on floor is also fine. I'm scooting the hips over the back knee, front leg straightens, drop hands down, hamstring for a moment. Gliding this foot directly to the left side. Come up high. We'll drop that left hand down the left leg, right hand up and over, lean. As we rise, plant the hands just like you can travel all the way back. We'll take child pose, down dog, or a flow if you'd like. Like do that chaturanga. Back bend, let the belly shine through. And downward facing dog. Coming up to top of mat. Next inhale to rise. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot does a deep lunge back and then lower the knee. Hips push forward. Maybe hands to thigh. Yep. Okay, hips over the back knee. Front leg straightens, drop down. Keep the breath flowing. I imagine it's like, what if by properly breathing, people wouldn't even need coffee anymore? Like you could just draw it from this internal source. Okay, let's slide the leg directly to the right. Come up high. Right hand on right leg, left hand up and over. Again, this is to open side ribs. That's our big goal. Let that capacity of the lungs deepen. And rising up, leg back, child pose, down dog, or adding that flow if you'd like. Beautiful strength. Keep the hips lifting. Traveling up to top of mat, forward fold. Some people are more graceful, some less. It's all good. Like we all made it in the end. Okay, so next inhale, rise. And then hands at the heart. Step the feet about as wide as the mat. We'll drop down into a malasana for a couple of breaths. Planting the hands. The right foot lunges all the way back. Turn the left toes forward. So this is lizard. Hands can be on the inside of the knee. So you can stay lifted with the back knee for the strength version, or you can drop down any amount, including the knee and the elbows. Planting the hands. This left leg is going to do a full circle. So planting all the way to straight leg, yep, across past the mat. Push the hips to the left. Then gaze over the right shoulder to those toes. Opening these channels. Now as that left knee bends, the legs end up crossed like an eagle. Swivel the toes open. So this isn't when you have to sit all the way back, but the idea is to kind of have the hands behind you and you're only shifting your hips far enough back that you start feeling the hips just really open. So if the person were to be completely comfortable with the knee stack version normally, then you could sit all the way back, but just that floating version is the building up to what it requires for those deep tissues in the hips. So just 2 more breaths. This one's pretty deep. It's kind of balancy. Okay, then using your hands, start to walk and press forward until you can uncross the legs. Again, child pose, down dog, or the flow. Almost like each time we do a down dog, the hips are getting higher and higher. Moving forward, slight bend to the knees, step walk or jump up to the top. Good. Inhale, rise. Hands to the heart. Drop the right hand to right side. Slide it down that side. Left hand up and over. And rise. Switch. Rise. Feet nice and wide. Malasana. Just one more breath. In. Out. Plant the hands. Hips lift a little bit, so left foot can shoot back. This right foot, the toes turn forward. Our hands are on the inside of the knee. And the back knee can lower or stay lifted. The elbows can lower or stay lifted. Just imagine with the deep breath that's happening, we're opening those channels. One more breath, once in, and out. And as the hip shift back a bit, this right leg circles all the way around. Push the hips to the right, gaze over the shoulder to those toes.
Where exactly are you feeling this?
If I'm really pushing the hips and then like exaggerating that part, I get it in IT band and hip area. So it's like I really have to like exaggerate how much I'm pushing the hips to the side. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Good. So then from there, soften that knee down with the legs crossed. Swivel the toes open. And this is that one where you start to walk your hands backwards to support you just however far back. You can go comfortably. Don't hurt the knees, don't hurt the hips, but just let those areas open to the degree that they will. Just a couple of breaths, not too long for this one. And press yourself back forward. Again, as you unwind the legs, child pose, down dog, or the flow. Soften the knees down. Swivel the, maybe scoot forward on your mat just a little bit. Swivel the toes open, and we're gonna go for the quad stretch. So try to sit back if you can, blanket if you need a little bit more height. And then maybe you end up just walking back to the hands, maybe to elbows. Good. Only go as far back as you need for the quad stretch. Remember that scooping the tailbone under can get you there even without having to feel like you go quite as far. So I could back up quite a bit and just scoop my tailbone under, and that gets the quads right in the stretch. Again, this one's intense, so just 2 more breaths.
No, you're not letting your knees go. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's what I try to aim for. Yeah. Yeah, because I don't want to push my knees any further than they tell me is okay. Okay, last inhale. When you get to the exhale, let it be full. And then reverse your steps to get back up. Good. That's all good. Direct it to a down dog. Start to travel the feet forward toward top of mat. Let them heel toe wide. Turn the toes out. We'll drop right into a malasana. So the left hand plants on the floor. Right hand reaches up to sky, so we've got a slight twist going on in the torso. Good. Your center, right hand down, left hand reaches. And down. Just one inhale through the center, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, turn the toes forward, forward fold. Inhale, circle the arms up. Slight back bend, hands to heart. So shifting the weight to left hip, cross the right leg off the mat on that left side. Good. Okay, almost like the banana, the hands come up overhead, grab the right wrist and pull to the left. So you should be pulling to the back door. Yeah. Beautiful. Unwind, step right foot back on, and left foot circles back, cross. Okay, up above, grab left wrist and pull it to the right. Good, and back on, just normal stance up at the top. Beautiful. Hands at the heart. Free pose, shift weight into left foot, right rotates open. Line. Foot goes maybe to the thigh. So now as we let the foot slip off of the thigh, we take it to figure 4. So right ankle goes crossing on the thigh. Bend the standing leg, so it's like a shelf. And then try to see if you can maybe drop the hands or the elbows to that shin. Good work. Release, step the right foot down. And tree pose, left leg open. Spine step. Even here, you can take a deep breath. I don't know that I always focus on the breath because I've got so many other balance things going on in tree. So let your rib cage really open. Figure 4. Then the standing leg. Maybe hands or elbows can drop to the shin. Release, standing, the arms to the sky, inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Float the right knee. Back to warrior 3. Hands can stay at the heart or open, your choice. And land warrior 1. Good. Now popping up onto the back toes. We'll open up into a twist. So this could be as simple as rotate the chest. It could be hook the right wrist on the thigh, or you could go down to right elbow on the thigh. So as far into the twist as you'd like. Maybe balance is best if you gaze down, but there is the option of side or up if you want to challenge the balance. Beautiful. So as we start to lift the torso, rotate the back heel down, cartwheel the arms to warrior 2. Good work. Extended side angle, rest. The left elbow, right arm up overhead. And warrior 2. To reverse warrior. Warrior 2. And from here, clasp hands behind the back. Bow forward to that front kind of right corner of the mat area. Hips pulled back a little bit. And planting the hands at the top of the mat, hop up onto the back toes. The front foot swings back to 3-legged dog, and then toes travel behind your back, knee opens. Bends and opens, good. Beautiful. Drop down to just normal down dog or add in a flow, your choice. Travel the feet up to the top of the mat, wide. Drop down to Malasana. Option to just stay here for a couple of breaths, or if you want to play with crow today, you can plant the hands. Yeah, you don't have to. Up to you. I know, right? Totally fine to just have one set of toes down and then just switch the set of toes that's down. So that way your body's getting just a little bit. Yeah. If it helps you, I usually point my fingers forward because that helps me to kind of use that pressure in my finger pads. Help a little bit. Oh, that was really good. Okay, good. Drop down, Halasana. Isn't it crazy what just having a little soft landing spot it does for our psyche? It's like, okay, I can do it now. And the hands, straighten the legs, turn the toes forward. Heel toe the feet closer, so feet are under hips. Inhale, circle up to rise. Hands to heart. Shifting weight to right foot. And float left for just a moment. Kick back, warrior 3. Arms can open if you wish. Soft land, warrior 1. Popping up onto the back toes. Take your twist option. Option 1, just the arms open. Option 2, the wrist hooks. Option 3, the elbows hug. Hands in prayer position. Torso starts to lift. Unwind completely into warrior 2. Extended side angle. And up to warrior 2. Reverse. Warrior 2. Clasp hands behind back. Bow up to the front left corner of mat. Shoulders stretch behind us. Hands release, plant on the mat, normal facing forward, hop up onto back toes. And this right leg swings up and back, three-legged dog, toes behind us, knee bent, hip open. Beautiful. Land the foot. Option for last, flow, shift forward to plank, lower chaturanga. Back bend. I'll pose our last dog. From that down dog, we'll start to walk our hands backwards towards the feet, bend the knees. We end up in a squat, like a low squat position, low squat. And we'll take a little twist from here. So the hands start to plant to the left. Maybe we can get the elbows to touch on the thigh. Let the spine wind for a moment. Obviously, there's always an option to play with side curl, but no need to force it today if you don't want to. Oh, okay. Yeah, you just tilt, and then your top toes lift, and then your bottom toes can lift. Yeah, that's okay. Start to unwind, plant all the way around, and just, if nothing else, twist. And hands forward, drop the knees. Coming to toe stretch from that. So yeah, keep the toes tucked. And just sitting back on the heels, unless that's too much pressure. If it's too much, just lean forward a bit. Just letting the fascia stretch for a moment. Returning back to deep breath if it picked up a bit, the pace of the breath from the last couple of things. And moving forward, release the toes, circle them or count them. And just sit. Cobbler's pose. Hands of feet together, spine lifts. To tilt forward. Spine rises, legs open out wide. Walking through the center. And coming back in. Take a plow pose. However you like to get into it, from laying down or from rolling, however you like. Stay as long as you wish. As the hips touch back down, I take one final twist. So this could be a simple, easy twist, the knees just as they are bend, or you can go deeper by crossing the right thigh over as the legs fall to the left. So up to you, but one last little twist, a couple of breaths, breathe into belly space. And bringing the legs up, uncross, recross if you did the twist that way, and then fall to the right. Good. Unwind, settle into whatever version of Shavasana feels delicious today. While you're settling down, take at least a handful of breaths that are as deep as you can get. So think of belly expanding, side ribs expanding, collarbones even rising. We're breathing so deep. And it falls out softly, not forceful. Sips of the breath, like that energy drink. Heading into Shavasana, as if this is connecting all the circuits to our battery, giving us access to the tremendous sources of energy we maybe didn't even realize that we had access to. And just keep breathing like this for the next few minutes in Shavasana. Begin to deepen the inhales and the exhales. Introduce tiny movements to the body. Stretching it out in ways that feel good. And perhaps a fetal position off to a side, taking a few good deep breaths. Comfortable seated place when you feel ready. And just that simple idea. Not all energy has to come from the obvious, like the food that we eat, which is important. But energy also comes from other sources, from self-care, from exercise, from breathing, from being in nature. So recognizing we have many sources of energy to fill up our batteries on those times when we need it. With this to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time that we shared with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.